Scott.
Aye.
Waters.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Kane.
Aye.
Shaner.
Aye.
I move we adjourn the closed session. Second.
Waters.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
O'Kane.
Aye.
Shaner.
Aye.
Scott.
Call the roll.
Okay, give me just a moment, please. Moore.
Here.
O'Kane.
Here.
Shaner.
Here.
Scott.
Here.
Waters.
Here. Stand for a moment of silent prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Rachel Lundgren. Rid of that table now. Do we need it anymore? We have a proclamation that reads, where alcohol is the most commonly used addictive substance in the United States, and excessive drinking is responsible for more than 4,300 deaths among underage youth each year. And whereas kids who have conversations with their parents and learn a lot about the dangers of alcohol and drug use are 50% less likely to use alcohol and drugs than those who don't have such conversations. And whereas 14% of the high school seniors in our community have used alcohol in the past 30 days, and 7% have consumed 5 or more drinks in a row. Now, therefore, I, Robert E. Scott, Mayor of the City of Sioux City, Iowa, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim April 20th, 2022 as Alcohol Awareness Month in Sioux City, and call upon all our citizens, nonprofits, parents, youth, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, healthcare agencies, and schools to be somebody and join together to prevent alcohol misuse among our youth and adults.
Thank you. Hi there, Rachel Lundgren with Siouxland Cares. I just wanted to thank the city for your continued support of our efforts to make Siouxland a safer and healthier place for our youth and adults. I did want to say, especially this year, we really need to pay attention to Alcohol Awareness Month. Since COVID, we have seen an increase in alcohol-related deaths across the country. A recent study showed a 25% increase in alcohol-related deaths in 2020. So we did see an increase. A lot of times they're comparing it to COVID-19 type of changes, whether that be for more accessibility for alcohol to be delivered, more mental health conditions that individuals were experiencing. A lot of things impacted alcohol use, not just for our youth, but for adults, especially in the 25 to 44-year-old age range. We did see that there was a 40% increase in alcohol-related deaths across the country in that young adult age range. So I want to make sure that we're all paying attention to healthy alcohol practices in Sioux City, and really wanted to thank the city for continuing to support Siouxland Cares in all our efforts in those areas. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel,
Thank
for
you
all
for
your
everything.
doing.
Okay, go to the consent agenda, items 2 through 13C, consider them to pass unanimously. Any person wanting to speak on an agenda item, please come to the podium as I read it. If you want to come to an item not on the agenda, please come up under citizen concerns. Remember to state your name and address for the record. I'll move the consent agenda.
Second.
2 is a reading of the City Council minutes of April 4th and 6th, 2022. 3 is a resolution temporarily closing sections of Pierce and 6th Streets on May 4th to allow for the loading and unloading of students attending the Tolerance performance at the Orpheum Theater.
That week is Tolerance Week in May, and I'm glad that the students are participating in this, and that the City Council and the Mayor support it. So thank you.
They also have a new railroad car exhibit at and they're still looking for donations. This could be the one you finally pop a check for. I'm counting on you to come through.
Thank you, Mayor.
I'll send you a copy of mine, and
I can match it.
you can match it.
He never misses an opportunity, does he?
4 is a resolution adopting plans and specs for the boat ramp parking lot and trail repair project. 5 are resolutions fixing the amounts to be assessed against private properties for the 2019 sidewalk program. 6 are actions relating to grants. A is a resolution authorizing Parks and Recreation to apply for American Trails Fund grant for the Chris Larson Park Riverfront Trail improvements. Items 6 through B, 6B through 6F are resolutions authorizing grant applications to assist projects at the airport. B is a commercial service vertical infrastructure grant for the terminal building roof and HVAC projects. C is an air service sustainment grant for marketing efforts. D is an airport improvement program grant for the North Island shoulder replacement. E is an airport improvement program grant for airfield fencing. And F is an airport improvement grant program for the North Ramp new development taxi lane overlay.
That is almost $895,000 going into our airport. Please fly Sioux City.
7 are actions relating to agreements and contracts. A is a resolution awarding a contract to Mark Albanesius for the West Kings Highway Bridge replacement project over Hanford Creek. B is a resolution approving amendment number 1 to the consulting services agreement with McClure Engineering for the 6th Street Sanitary Sewer replacement project. C is a resolution approving a consulting services agreement for McClure Engineering for West 3rd and West Streets intersection improvements project. D is a resolution approving a consulting services agreement with Veemstra and Kim for the West Palmer Avenue and George Street intersection improvement project. E is a resolution approving a lube and ancillary products equipment loan agreement with Nebraska Iowa Supply. F is a resolution approving a 5-year agreement with Mission Square Retirement for administrative services associated with the city's 457 plan. G is a resolution awarding a service provider agreement to Brian Wildy for the Floyd Cemetery 2022 mowing season. H is a resolution awarding a service provider agreement to Brian Wildy for the 2022 weed abatement program. I is a resolution approving a consulting services agreement with Hazen and Sawyer to develop a facility plan for the wastewater treatment plant.
Mayor?
Yes.
I have a question for Tom, if I may, please. Could you just tell us just a little bit about this consulting services agreement and the purpose it'll serve? And the other thing I just wanted to confirm with you is the facility plan will develop a capital improvement phasing plan. That'll be a part of what they're doing now to do this facility plan itself.
Tom Pingle, Utilities Director. The facility plan is a required document needed for the Iowa DNR in order to basically it does two things. It allows us to use SRF funding if we complete a facility plan, and then the second thing is we really can't move forward with any construction project without this being in a facility plan. And right now, the facility plan that we had done in 2016 no longer applies to what we have to do at the current facility. So this plan, the scope of this facility plan that Hazen Sawyer is going to complete will actually evaluate each and every single process at the current wastewater plant to see what is needed for the next 20 years for that particular process and what types of improvements are needed. And also other things like if we get a rate increase and stuff like that for the wastewater plant, loading increase, I should say. At the end of that facility plan, it's going to look at, like I said, all the improvements required at the existing plant, and then it will formulate how much it will probably cost to build a new plant. And it's going to actually take them against each other and see what is most cost prohibitive for our ratepayers. It will also look at a rate structure in order to get to where we need to be in order to pay off these improvement projects that are required in this facility plan. That's basically the gist of it. It's a 20-year plan and beyond for our whole wastewater system.
Okay, I appreciate that, Tom, that explanation. Do you think, in your professional opinion, the facility plan, if it goes 20 years out, how can they anticipate, though, the changes that might occur in technology or in whatever is used in the plant over time? Will they try to address that, or will that be addressed by allowing for expansions or renovations or redoing parts of it?
Correct. Yeah. They will address all that. They'll look at current technologies and what is actually accepted by the Iowa DNR. So they won't look at technologies outside of that because it won't be allowed to be built. So the DNR already has a list of things that you can only do. You can't go outside of that box. So they'll make sure we're playing within the box the whole time and making sure that the technologies they are selecting are proven, not newer technologies. We're not going to go down that road with this. We want proven technologies that have worked for a long period of time for our ratepayers.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yep. Any other questions?
Yeah, in 2016, we were told the same thing. That was supposed to be a 20-year plan.
Yeah. It wasn't me.
Here we are. Here we are, another 600,000. I mean,
Well, let's think about 2016 was almost 20 years ago. It's about 15 years ago now.
2006.
Oh, 6. Yeah, that's even further away.
it was 16. We had that group that just,
6 years ago.
no, it was the group.
2016, yeah. That facility plan was wasn't all encompassing like this facility plan. That one
Yes,
was kinda,
well, I'm not going to argue, and we're going to vote for this, but I'm telling you, this is what happens every time, is we hire these consultants, we don't hold them accountable. I can gladly have the clerk get the minutes of that meeting. I know my advanced age, my memory's failing, but we paid a lot of money for a study that now we're going to throw in the wastebasket. That begins to be irritating when you get to sit up here and see these they're always over $500,000. When are we going to hold somebody accountable here for a plan that group, everything they proposed has had problems? I'd like to have one process you can tell me that was worth the money.
yeah. I'll promise you guys I will hold this Hazen Sawyer accountable all the way through the end, and this facility plan will be followed as long as I'm here for the next 20 years.
Okay. Hope
Thanks,
springs
Tom.
eternal in this business, Bob, but don't tell me.
And
it was
this is required by the
2006
DNR.
because you had
There's
it
no
with
way
that.
out
I
of
was
it.
going to say, we don't really have a choice.
No, you don't.
You can be mad at him or say we're not going to
I'm not mad. I'm just tired of we let engineers off. They give us bad reports and we say, oh, we'll just hire another one. That's the solution. They have insurance for doing bad work. They sold us a crock on that gas. They're never going to get the numbers that I wouldn't have voted for that if I would have known gas, it was going to be so pitiful down there. And I don't think any of these guys would have if they were here at the time, so. Anyway, 8's actions relating to personnel. A is the resolution approving a salary schedule for seasonal personnel effective July 1st, 2022. B is a resolution amending a position classification manual and salary schedule by adding the position of recreational superintendent. C is a resolution amending the position classification manual by approving an updated job description for park superintendent. D is a resolution amending the position classification manual by approving an updated job description for IT specialists. 9 are actions relating to property. A is a resolution inviting proposals for the underground electrical easement 52 and 1110 Larson Park Road. B is a resolution proposing to sell property known as 3455 Maplewood Street. The petitioner is Austin and Shannon Speckman. C is a resolution inviting proposals for the lease of land in the combined central Sioux City urban renewal area, 401 Gordon Drive. D is a resolution consenting to the estoppel certificate between Hawthorne Global Aviation and Hawthorne FBO acquisition for financing of property located at 5815 Mitchell Avenue at the airport. I'll move to delete.
Second.
O'Kane?
Aye.
Shaner?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Waters?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Tender purchasing. A is a resolution awarding a PO to MP companies for a SRE rotary plow. I'll move to delete the item.
Second.
Shaner?
May I ask why we're deleting it? I thought this was a grant.
Yeah, Mike Collette, Assistant City Manager. We don't have the grant yet, so this
Oh.
item was not intended to be on the agenda until we actually formally adopt
Was
it.
this a 90 or an 80 on the
90.
grant? 90?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I thought that was a bargain. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, so probably within the month, we'll have the grant and we'll bring it back.
Okay, sounds good.
Shaner,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Waters,
Aye.
Moore,
Aye.
O'Kane.
Aye.
G is a resolution awarding a PO to Hawkins for anionic polymer solution at $2.06 a pound for the water treatment plant. 11 are applications for cigarette, tobacco, nicotine vapor permits. See the list come forward if you have questions. 12 are applications for beer and liquor license. See the list come forward if you have questions. 13 board commissions and committee minutes. See the list come forward if you have questions. Anyone to be heard on any of Passes 5-0. Motions or appointments to boards and committees and commissions. 14 is a motion appointing Dolph Ivner to the Human Rights Commission. I'll move that.
Second.
There you go, I'm sorry.
Passes 5-0. 15 is a hearing and resolution approving plans and specs for the 6th Street sanitary sewer replacement project. I'll move that.
Second.
Hearing's now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Passes 5-0. 16 is hearing and resolution approving plans and specifications for the 9th and Ruston Streets intersection water main replacement project. I'll move that.
Second.
Hearing's now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. But I'll go back. Passes 5-0. We'll have to call the roll on it then. We got to go back to 10C. I'll move resolution awarding a PO to Vulcan Industry for parts to repair one bar screen at the wastewater treatment plant.
Second.
Call the roll on that one, please.
Scott,
Aye.
Waters,
Aye.
Moore,
Aye.
O'Kane,
Aye.
Shaner.
Aye.
Sorry about that. 17 is hearing and resolution approving plans and specs for the Sioux Gateway Airport roof replacement phase 1 project. I'll move that.
Second.
Hearing's now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Passes 5-0. 18 is a hearing and resolution adopting an amended and restated urban renewal plan for the Teton Urban Renewal Project area. I'll move that.
Second.
Hearing's now open. Is anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed.
I don't think it's on.
No, it's not on yet. She had a bad.
Can't get a rhythm.
I threw you off.
You did, it's your fault.
Passes 5-0. 19 to hearing and resolution adopting amended and restated urban renewal plan for the combined Central Sioux City CBD urban renewal project area. I'll move that.
Second.
Hearing's now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Passes 5-0. 20 is a hearing and resolution adopting an amended and restated urban renewal plan for Donner Park. I'll move that.
Second.
Hearing is now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Passes 5-0. 21 is a hearing and resolution adopting an amended and restated urban renewal plan for the combined Floyd River Urban Renewal Project area. P&Z recommends approval of this item. I'll move that.
Second.
Hearing is now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Passes 5-0. 22, amending Chapter 3.10 entitled Floyd Valley Urban Renewal Tax Increment District. I'll move first reading.
Second.
Passes 5-0. Is anybody opposed to waiving the statutory rule?
No.
I'll move that.
Second.
Waters?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
O'Kane?
Aye.
Shaner?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye. I'll move second and third.
Second.
Passes 5-0. 23 is a resolution fixing a date and publication of notice for a meeting on the issuance of general obligation urban renewal bonds. I'll move that.
Second.
Passes 5-0. 24 is a resolution awarding and approving a contract to environmental services for the asbestos abatement at 722 Nebraska Street. I'll move that.
Second.
Here, one question is, I've never been in the building. I have no desire to go in, but you say it's a mess and unsafe to walk. Will they clean everything out of this building then, basically?
In any of the areas that there is asbestos, yes. There are some items that will be left in the building that are in non-asbestos affected areas, but for the most part, yes. Yeah, pretty well.
Okay.
This has to be done, Darrell, doesn't it, before
It does.
any
Yeah.
demolition?
Whether a new project goes in or demolition, either way, it has to be done.
All right, thank you.
Passes 5-0. 25 is a resolution fixing fees for services provided by Parks and Recreation. What, if we don't raise this, what's our loss in the swimming pools this year? I should have asked you that. It may have been in there, but I was doing this Sunday afternoon. I'll move it, I'm sorry. Second, Dan.
Matt Salvatore, Parks and Recreation Director. To answer your question, if we do not increase the pool fees to offset the wage increases, we're looking about an additional $25,000 subsidy.
When's the last time they were raised?
2008.
Matt, as you know, I'll make every effort to support what your recommendations are. I just can't support it this year because of what's all going on with cost of living and everything else that we've got facing us. And I know if we don't raise them for this season, then they remain for the whole season. I don't think we would want to do it halfway through, or wouldn't help at all to do it at the end. So I emailed Matt earlier because I was really struggling with this. But I guess I just wanted the council and the mayor to know what my position is. And you can vote whatever you think is right, but I just don't think the timing is very good right now.
Can you go through what just some of the examples of what the increase would be?
I'll let John do that.
Yeah, so we aren't going up any more than 75 cents per this is John Burns, by the way, Recreation Supervisor. We aren't going up more than 75 cents. So, for example, we're going from our current, child rate at Lewis and Leif Erikson of being $2.25 to going to a flat $3 rate. The adult at Lewis and Leaf would be $3.50 to $4, so that's either 75 cents or a 50-cent increase. Riverside is similar with children currently at $3.50. We'd be recommending $4 flat. Adults at $4.25, recommending $5.
So it's safe to say with every level of increase, it'd be less than $1.
That's correct.
Hasn't been updated in 14 years. Is that?
That's correct.
I'm curious, did you look at other cities? I know I looked at Iowa City is $4 for age 3 and up.
Correct, yeah, and we pulled some locally, just some of the organizations here. So, for example, the Norm Waite YMCA across in South Sioux City, for their members, their child is $3.50, adult $3.75. For their community, child's $3.75, adult $4. So that's similar to where we're proposing. Sergeant Bluff is a flat $5 fee, so that's actually a little higher than what we're recommending going up to. Mobile is a little bit lower at $3. Sioux Center, I took their indoor pool because that's more applicable. I mean, their outdoor pool is a little more of an aquatic center. So their indoor pool is youth at $5, adult at $6, once again higher than what we'd be recommending moving to.
But this also fixes the fees at Cone Park. How much is
Formalizes those.
What?
Formalizes the summer tubing fees, which are very similar to the winter tubing fees. It just formalizes those and provides the schedule for that.
And for those, sorry, I guess the last question I had too was just for those that maybe are experiencing poverty or those that have lower income. Do we offer any type of bracket for those individuals?
Yeah, that's a great question. One of the things that one of the items of this that we wanted to highlight is we do have a low-income program that we utilize. We get a grant every year for up to $10,000. This year we're doing $10,000 for free pool passes and $10,000 for free swim lessons. We felt like that was a really important aspect as well to teach the community how to swim. So last year, for example, though, that of the $10,000, only $4,307 of that was actually used. So bottom line is the program's being underutilized. Now, if we raise admissions, even if the same amount came in, that would raise, of course, from $4,300, up, slightly, another 20 cents per person. So that would increase, but we still have room to go there for those in the community that are utilizing the low-income program.
John, can you talk just a little bit about the qualification or what you would need to do if you think you qualify for that program?
Yeah, so the grant is set by federal guidelines, so it's not us making the decision on what income threshold you have to make. So what we do is we have individuals bring their notice of decision in from the Department of Human Services. They bring that down to our office at Parks and Recreation. We verify their who they are, and at that point give them 25 free pool passes. They're good for one calendar summer, right? So it spans the fiscal year, but the one summer they're good for. And then after they use their 25 free passes, they actually get a 20% discount card as well. So in addition to the 25 free, they have the 20% discount going forward.
Thanks for the clarification.
Yep.
Which part did you say that you're not in favor of raising the?
Just raising the fees.
Then we'd have to subsidize.
Find the 20.
Everybody's getting hit left and right.
Where will we find the 25,000 if we don't raise the fees?
I don't think we will, unless you see numbers drastically increase.
And I can sympathize, where Dan's position is coming from. I do think that it's been a challenging year. I think that you heard City Council even earlier our budget time, how much we were painting over those decisions and how frustrated we were that oftentimes our hands were tied between, insurance rates in the Iowa legislature, the only thing that gives me pause and allows me to vote for this increase is the thought that we haven't done so in 14 years. And I suppose it's one of those things, you know, a line the mayor sometimes says is shame on us. You know, we probably should have been kept with that, but we probably wanted to keep those rates low. You know what I mean? Staff has worked diligently to try to do so. So the fact that they haven't been increased in 14 years, and then you also look at the fact that there is a low income bracket if those are experiencing poverty or maybe just unable to pay. Maybe they're unable to pay. There are programs that were underutilized in previous years. If we were maxing that program out and there was more need than what was available, I mean, I think that would be a compelling argument as well. So I guess that's why at this point in time, I understand why we need to increase.
So give me the rates again.
So the current rates for Leaf and Lewis Pool, current child is $2.25. We're recommending a flat $3. Current Lewis and Leaf for an adult is $3.50. We're recommending a flat $4.
So you're raising kids 75 and old guys like me that got money 50 cents.
At Riverside, it's the opposite way. So it flips around and evens out.
Not a very compelling argument to somebody like me, but
at Riverside,
there's also benefits of having a flat dollar amount and quarters and change shortage that we're going through right now. So that was
I guess my proposal wouldn't make any difference, and so I'll just shut up.
Sorry to be silent. It just is a dilemma on both sides. It really is. None of us want to raise the rates, but we have to operate the pools, and we don't want one of them to have to be closed because of it, and I worry about that as well. So I think if maybe we can get the word out that there is some assistance out there, maybe we put a little more emphasis on that, that would help those who don't feel that they can afford it or that absolutely can't pay even a discounted rate. Maybe we can get the information out a little bit.
Yeah, we are ramping up those efforts in our section of our fund and action guides dedicated to this program that we're going to make a little bit more public.
Schools know before school lets out?
it's promoting. We used to be able to. We had an access to promote into the schools, and that has since dried up. So that's
that's been a challenge.
It's affected us a lot.
Okay.
And I think we should pat staff on the back. I mean, I think they've done everything to keep those rates low up until this point in time.
Yeah.
14 years. Name me one service or one product that hasn't increased in 14 years.
Correct.
And we're lower than our neighboring communities.
But the timing is couldn't be any worse, Alex. I understand what you're saying too. And you can send out all the details you want, but the fact that what's going to be broadcast is the fees are being raised, and people are going to, rightfully so, be upset about that. They're probably not going to go to the swimming pool. They might not even come to Combe Park, and I just want to leave it alone for a year. And I feel bad if we can't come up with $25,000 to help out. I mean, I can't believe there's not something in one of our budgets that we could subsidize that, if you want to use that term. I'm not crazy about using that word, but I just can't in good conscience do it. And that's why I emailed you, Matt, because I
appreciate that.
I wanted you to be prepared to make your case for raising the fees. But
I think it's important, though, to note that $25,000 doesn't go away after this year, right? That's something that we need to be able to sustain because it's going towards what we're paying people. And we've got to keep some kind of competitive price point on employment. I was at a school board meeting, and one of the lunch service workers, temporary lunch service workers, said, "Why do I work here when I can go to any fast food restaurant and half the ones in town pay $15 an hour? Why am I going to waste my time working for the school system in that case?" And that's a good point. If people are getting to the point where they're like, I don't see investing my time here if I can make just as much money and have less responsibility, So we need to have a way to attract people to these positions, whether it's lifeguards or any other number of positions. And it's got to be something that we can sustain going forward. So I appreciate that the rates are lower. I will say I would be in favor of seeing a sliding scale that is a little bit easier on low income.
How much more can you get than free for 25?
Oh, no, yeah, I'm talking the lower tier, but
we always worry about low-income people, but somebody that's not low income but moderate income is the one that's going to suffer on this as much because they don't get the advantage of the free swimming, and their parents' wages have probably not gone up that kind of percentage. Listen, I'm not it's not that I'm not sympathetic to poor people, but if you're that poverty that they've got to be at,
They'll get it.
I think it's great we've got a program, but we don't have that sliding scale for moderate income people, and we always seem to not worry about that. And quarters are that hard to find.
We spend an awful lot of time on weekends trying to find quarters at various establishments, some of which won't let us keep coming back.
Well, if I ran a restaurant, I'd know how much change I needed, and I would get that Fridays. We don't have that luxury, is what you're telling me?
Oh, we make proactive efforts to do that. Sometimes our younger managers, of course, aren't as inclined to think as ahead of time. The issue we run into is on a weekend, on a Sunday, for example, if you run out of quarters at one establishment because you have a 100-degree day, and when you're charging $2.25. Every time someone hands you a full dollar, you're giving them 3 quarters back. So it just runs through that supply quickly. A flat dollar makes the operating much easier on it.
So they're not putting in a change order at the end of the week prior to the weekend. They're not.
They do. They do frequently. It's hard to. It's sometimes hard to predict. Based on weather, of course.
Do we take credit cards at all?
At Riverside this coming year, we're actually excited to roll this out. We have a fiber project that hopefully will be finished up by then. This will be the first time our pools have ever taken credit cards.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Well done.
Slowly getting fiber to all those facilities.
Great.
Yeah, we're really excited about that.
Why do you have to have fiber to take a credit card?
To have a stable enough, secure connection to be able to use a credit card.
And we can't use a square as a city, probably.
Yeah, we've looked into that in the past.
Not
There's
to
ways
link-
it reconciles with our
County system.
Tough one. And if your vote doesn't pass, it doesn't mean that you won't come back next year and ask us.
Green Valley doesn't raise their golf fees for adults, but yet this slays me.
There's a portion that would a modified portion that would need to come back. For example, the summer tubing at Cone Park.
Right.
And that can be at a later date.
Rate increases are never fair.
Especially when it's this time of year going through.
How many splash pads do we have?
5. Miracle League, I guess.
6 if you count Miracle.
You gonna still let me come out to Cone Park this summer?
No, we will.
Not anymore.
No, it's totally your decision.
If it wasn't public.
I mean, we appreciate
More than
the
that.
wage increase to stay competitive with neighboring communities. This here was our recommendation. Park Board signed off on it. It's really a city council policy decision.
Well,
We needed to have everybody here for our budget hearing that we had earlier this year, Matt, and I don't want to be funny with you, but I'm thinking if it's a quarter, then go from $2.25 to $2, but I don't know how that'd have another
negative
impact
impact.
on financial, yeah.
Additional to,
listen, you cannot cheapen as much as I hate increases. I want to make sure we have quality lifeguards, and we're not going to get them for $9.50 an hour. So if you want quality lifeguards, you got a choice: raise the rates or close the pool down. That's an option that
I don't want to close the pools.
I'm just telling you, you can vote against it. I understand that, but this is driven by the fact that the wages in this community have gone up to the point where we have to be realistic. I don't want somebody out there that's not qualified being a lifeguard. I don't want the exposure from that. The legal department would tell us that we don't want that exposure, and a lot of this.
And we don't want to be able to not attract even.
I'm the guy 2 years ago who said we got to get these wages for these kids up. We're not even paying them enough for their parents to drop them off. So I get it.
Well, I think that was a unanimous vote on the wages. Seasonal salary. And
it was, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's up from what we had to do a couple years ago when we were short. So
I was going to say, I think even with the wages where we're at and all of these things, I think it's still going to be, I don't envy John.
Yeah, and John, that doesn't kick in until July 1, does it? The increase,
The
salary increase.
The previous past increase would kick in July 1st.
Yeah,
and
correct.
even then, even the high end of that is lower than where we're recommending starting. So, I mean, not only somebody made the comment of competing with, fast food industries, I think that was Matthew, but, and I mean, that's hard enough by itself. And now with the Norm Waite YMCA starting their guards at $12 an hour, 12 to 12.96, I think is the range. It's going to get harder and harder, not only to recruit against private businesses, but other local pools.
Yeah, and John, don't get me wrong. I think you've done a terrific job. I really do. I just, we're talking about the municipal pools, and I just think they should be affordable for everyone. And not everybody has transportation to the pools either, and you got to calculate that. I mean, the mayor pointed that out earlier this year with the price of gas, skyrocketing. It's come down a tiny bit, but not much.
Passes 4-1. Mr. Moore votes no.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
20 is a resolution updating the preliminary allocation of funding for the U.S. Department of Treasury for coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds. I'll move that.
Second.
Teresa Fitch, Finance Director. Do you have any questions or do you want clarification?
I'm sorry, I excluded you on my email traffic Saturday morning, I think, but
Okay.
Can you just point out to me you did it in the write-up, but could you just, on the numbers, could you point out what we've changed?
Sure. There's 4 different categories. In the first category, the public health and negative economic impacts, we have allocated out of that category into the premium pay the $249,938, which was already paid out and approved by council previously. During the budget hearing, we determined that we would allocate a portion, or what is left in that bucket, $110,000 of it to the annual athletic maintenance projects, $50,000 of it to the IBP Ice Center enhancements, and $250,000 of it would be put together for a nonprofit program for nonprofits to apply for assistance. The remaining amount will stay within that category.
So these specific amounts are what we're approving tonight?
Yes. Yep.
The specific projects that are listed there? Okay.
Correct. Actually, the CIP, both CIPs were actually approved within the budget, that allocation out. This is just to formalize the allocation for the ARPA funds. And then down below in the or the last area, the investments in water, sewer, and broadband, we initially allocated $1 million to broadband. We've reallocated that to $500,000 and moved $500,000 up into the sewer as an unidentified wastewater treatment plant project.
Under the sewer. Okay.
Yep.
That was the only change there then, correct?
Yep, correct.
Okay.
So those are the allocation updates.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any additional questions? Thank you.
Passes 5-0. 27 is a resolution rejecting the bids received for the proposed construction of the Sioux Gateway Aviation Center project. I'll move that.
Second.
Passes 5-0. Mr. Waters abstained. Citizen concerns. Are there any citizens to be heard? Please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, please.
Hey guys, most of you know me. I'm Justin Johnston. I'm just coming to you today to find out your guys' decision on what I should do. I will tell you all that there's been a big change with the homeless issue downtown. Quite a bit. Here to bring a little bit more on the issue because as a Good Samaritan, trying to get a lot of them out of the building that I live in, I have been getting a lot of notifications that I'm violating their rules. Apparently, I'm only allowed to live in the building, and when they're in there, I'm not allowed to confront them, go near them, tell them to leave. I just let the police know. Even recently, some of you I have talked to about the issue. Not sure where to go, because even today, I got another one. I added a few of you in a recent email of finding a gentleman that was banned from our building and sent the picture, asked him to leave. He was waiting for his family. I said I'd give him 10 minutes. I don't know if I'm not supposed to be a Good Samaritan anymore, but getting notifications that I'm in violation of Section 15 and their rules and threatened of eviction. I really don't know where I'm supposed to go or what to do.
Mr. Johnston, could we have your address also, please?
411 Nebraska Street. I am in apartment 307. The other issue that I'm kind of having, and if you'd like, I can have you make a couple copies of this, because again, today, another issue, since I'm not supposed to confront tenants who are making noise, I've been making them aware of my disability. They won't address the quiet time on their lease. And this morning, I got woken up about 1 o'clock. The person that is being evicted was up stomping around, slamming his door, and throwing garbage away. I couldn't go near him because, again, I can't confront them, and ended up in the hospital, went to urgent care because I had a seizure from not getting enough sleep, and had a couple pictures because my black eye, I don't know where I hit my face, but just not sure where to go, especially when I keep getting notifications.
All these notifications are coming from your landlord? Is that right?
Yes. If you do not rectify this satisfaction or situation within 7 days, your lease will end. And described above, this one was sent to me on March 22nd with that gentleman that I found sleeping on the couch.
Who was he waiting for? His
He
family?
said he was waiting for his family.
That lives in the building, or just somebody to come give him a ride?
One of his family members to come and give him a ride home. But he was that gentleman that apparently has been banned from the building. This was the third time he was actually arrested from being in there. And the only reason I'm in here talking with you guys about it today is because I got another notification after being in the hospital. This letter serves as a warning that the next time you do not follow instructions, it will be considered interfering with the operations of the landlord, because they're working with downtown partners, Sioux City Police, and you, and I'm not supposed to say anything at all.
And I
The
guess
only reason I'm going to, just for a second, the other part of the reason I'm saying this is because I don't know about you, but to me, if I walk out of my apartment and some homeless person that does not live there, or even if a tenant lives there, and someone is doing something to somebody, they're basically telling me all I can do is take a picture and call the police. To me, my years of being on the Iowa Civil Rights Commission for Sioux City and part of the Brain Injury Alliance, doing things with the Iowa Department of Public Health. I'm a good Samaritan. I'm a good thing. I try to be helpful. But when you're threatening me that I'm being a no-no, I don't know about you guys. I'm just bringing it up to you because I could even tell it to you like this. If someone is in the building and they're raping a woman, I am going to interfere. But if I take a picture and I send it in to them and then they threaten to evict me because I did it, I'm not sure what to do. They did verify to me on the phone that I'm not getting evicted, but this is just getting a little ridiculous and I'm not sure where to go.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that I feel for you, JJ, and I don't know what the answer is. I mean, I went down and toured your building with you this last week, and it's sad. It's frustrating because I think about the apartment complexes that I've lived in, and you want to have a common space. And right now, the only common space that you have, that you would utilize, normally maybe there's a couch or a living quarters or anywhere where you and your neighbors can congregate. There can't be any of those things. They're removing all of that because that's where these individuals like to congregate and want to get their own reprieve. And I don't know what that answer is. I mean, and I told you and I told your neighbors the other day when I was down there is we as a city, I'm not sure what we can do, but it is very frustrating, beyond sending an email and saying, what is happening and what are you going to do to provide security in your building or make your tenants feel more safe?
And that's the other part too, with some of these letters that they're sending me and telling me the first thing that they say is safety and security. But security, when you walk out, you see someone getting attacked or even sleeping in your apartment building that you've lived in for 20 years, you want the safety and the security there, right? Not 40 minutes later that it takes for a police officer to get there. Because we can't call 911 because it's not an emergency. We call non-emergency, and the first thing that they ask us, did you ask them to leave? Well, I can't, because if I do, I'm going to get threatened with eviction. I'm trying to work on all the same levels, but then when it also makes me have a seizure because I'm not getting enough sleep, they say safety and security. Well, you made me have a seizure because I can't go out and say, get out of our building. I'm just a little irritated on certain levels, and all my years of doing this, it's already making me feel like, I can't go look at another building because my housing assistant sold me that this complex is $150 more, and if you move there, you have to try to cover that. But I don't have that. It's a big,
It's complex.
It's a big, complex thing, and I apologize if I sound rude.
But at the end,
I just don't know what, it's a tenant-landlord issue.
Right.
I don't know what.
Is there any kind of a code or anything on your door it takes to get people in? Apparently not, to get to the lobby?
They don't have that type of security on that building. They've talked about trying to, but they said it's an older building, and they don't know if they can build off of it because of some sort of rule, because they also like to complex things with it's connected to the skywalk and it's city controlled, and even our front door, I've asked them, can you lock it at 6 o'clock? But they won't because
then every tenant would have to have a key. Is that what they're?
And we all have keys. It's just they won't lock it because the skywalk controls our front door. And some of our stairways don't have the lock. And the happy part is, the last guy who's been bringing in the homeless people today was his last day.
Oh, good. Well, don't put yourself in danger to ask someone to exit, for one thing. I mean,
it's not just
as much as you want to be
several times where some of the ladies that live in there, they're older, they're scared to go down and check their mail.
Sure.
They call me.
Yep, I
say,
understand
okay, I'll
that.
be down in a minute.
Yep, I understand
Because the first
that.
thing knowing all of these people for as long as I have, even the newer one that has 2 children, They know me. I'll come walk them down. I'll make sure that someone is going to be there so no one gets jumped. You know, that's just me. That's all my years of being an advocate. I'll be there. I'm there for you. But
Has that happened to anyone? Have they been robbed in your lobby or anything like that?
the only other new one is a gentleman that works at Hard Rock, and he and his son moved in, and they're actually right next to me. He was downstairs with his friend, and two people were walking up and down the sidewalk watching him. He was telling me this just the other day, and they walked back over, but they both went like this, and they had their taser or some sort of mace, and they pulled it out, and they just walked back the other way.
But thank goodness no one has come in and robbed anybody there.
As of now, no. The only, you know,
And
I
it's
don't
like
know
what
if
you
any of the-
worry is that
Right,
it's like,
you don't
how
want
does
it to happen.
escalate
Right,
that
right.
before
You
anything?
don't
Yeah.
want it to happen, right?
I understand.
I'm just bringing more attention because of the fact that it irritates me when they say safety and security. Well, it's not that. If I'm having not enough sleep and I'm having a seizure and I end up standing in front of my bathroom mirror for 20 minutes and then finally coming to, and I have a bruise on my eye and my whole entire body, just not normal, you know. But again, I've lived there since my days working at KCAU, and then I started working at Hard Rock. That's the reason I moved to this place, because employment, walking distance, and looking at the other, because I just started working at KWIT, that apartment complex that is for people with disability, but it's going to be $150 more. My contract's only $100 a month. I'm not going to be getting equal.
Right.
So that's the only reason I'm in, to talk to you guys and say, hey, it scares me even more when they're threatening me. If I do anything else, you're going to... I'm just trying to be good here. That's the only thing that I'm trying to do. And make sure everybody is safe, but they keep throwing in my face that I'm endangering them because I'm confronting them. I'm telling them to get out of the building.
Well, it doesn't seem like asking him to leave would be,
Well, even if the police department, the non-emergency, and that's their first question, did you ask them to leave?
right. That seems like it should be allowed.
I don't know. That's a tough one, because it's a landlord.
It sounds like you have other tenants that would support you, at least bringing this to the landlord and saying, hey, all of these people that I walked down to get their mail agree that this is not a safe situation, and we need some better options for how you're going to make sure that we stay
Some kind of
secure
a
and safe.
petition or
Totally
something?
agree there, and a lot of them, like I say, I'm the one that they contact because they know I will be the one sending the email, doing the picture, because they're scared. They don't want to get one of these notifications. The only reason I'm taking them in, even just walking out the door to come over here, there had to have been a homeless person in our stairway because there was a food box and an engraved sign of a heart and I love you right there in the stairway. Never been there, just showed up today, so none of the tenants are going to be doing that.
Well, we'll have Mr. Padmore contact Mr. Labonte and see what you can get done. There has to be a way you can put a security system on, because we put them on the skywalks all the time. So let's see if we'll have Bob contact him up in Spencer and see what he says.
Okay.
Okay?
Because I've tried having them come in, but they said they can't do anything. I talked with the gentleman in Sergeant Bluff that owns the security, but he said that they couldn't come down and start checking our stairways either, because we're not part of the contract.
No, yeah, they can't, but there's a way to put they can't, but there's a way to put a security system in place.
Do you guys prefer that I not tell them to go?
I think your safety needs to be considered
Right.
too. I think if there's I just think back to before I was on the council, and I was here the night that you came to talk before, and I wouldn't want to see a repeat of that incident where you were physically accosted. And so if it's safer for you to call, even if it's a matter of waiting 20 minutes until a police officer can come out, if you think that you'd be in physical danger, I would always prefer that you would call the police. I don't want to see you get hurt.
And again, like I said, a lot of times even calling non-emergency,
Yeah,
they ask if we ask them to leave.
yeah.
I'm like, that's why I don't know.
You'll just have to tell them, no, my building manager doesn't want me to do that, so I'm calling you.
Okay.
Right?
Put yourself first.
I just wanted to bring this, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else
Great
be
day.
heard? Seeing none? Matthew?
That technology, hold on.
You don't, your time's running, you're 3 minutes. But the clock is on.
I'll have to talk real fast.
Huh?
Ran into my good friend Dan Moore at an event this week. I'm going to let him talk about that one. Jurassic Quest was awesome. Tons of
How
fun.
did you stand the smoke in that place?
You know what? It was a little tough at first for me to get used to. Hadn't been to any concerts in quite a while, so that was something to get used to. But it was so much fun. It was all interactive. It was a great way for kids to learn.
Was smoke in there?
Oh my!
They had smoke machines running throughout the whole.
Everywhere. It was.
Oh, I
hard
was out of
to breathe.
town, so I didn't get to go to it.
And my
Hard to breathe.
daughter Luna, every dinosaur that winked at her sideways, she was like, "Nope, I don't want to be here."
Oh, she was scared.
But Seamus absolutely loved it, so that was great. The book sale was great. I think somebody was having fun though, because there was like copies of the Da Vinci Code throughout that entire building. So thank you to the staff for going through and keeping those tables straightened out. Just a reminder that Sioux City schools are getting out early on Wednesday, and they are out of school until next Tuesday. And that is everything that I have this week.
I don't have anything to report today. I been on short vacation, so I'm catching up.
You are? Feeling okay?
Let's keep going while we can.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna fill in for Alex's time. Have you yielded your time to me?
Yeah, exactly.
So 3 minutes, 3 minutes?
Yep,
I have
you've got
9 minutes.
9 minutes.
Matthew and I attended the ribbon cutting at Siouxland Foster Closet
Yes.
and in Indian Hills, and it was fantastic. You cannot believe how organized they are with all of the clothes and toys and everything. I just want to take a moment to read their mission because it's really powerful for the Siouxland Foster Closet. We are a volunteer-run organization whose mission is to follow God's commands to love, to care for children, and to give out of what we have by supporting children in out-of-home placement and the families caring for them. And so it was really good, really good. Oh, sure.
Dan, do they have any specific needs?
And I'm going to sponsor. I'm going to sponsor one of those.
Good for you.
Yeah, the Comfort Care sponsor. And then secondly, the strategic plan survey is out and about. You mentioned that?
No, Julie wanted to know if they had any specific needs.
Immediate needs that they mentioned to you while you were there?
Oh, yes. Oh, they do. And they have,
Website?
when you go in, and the rooms go way to the back, don't they? They have on each room a needs list, if you want to do in-kind things. But they're also looking for donations. I'll get you a copy of this. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Fine.
And just the strategic plan survey that's out and about for our citizens to review and complete and participate in the vision of Sioux City. That's all I have.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
O'Kane?
Aye.
Shaner?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Waters?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
I did go to the circus.